All right, so I think you guys have seen me cook breakfast enough. Today we're gonna change it up. You guys are gonna see me on my low carb day on a Sunday doing my meal prep. So this is what I normally do. I pop out the grill and I cook about 30 pounds of chicken, some for myself and some for others that asked me to do it. Little exchange there. It's super easy. And if you guys are here to learn how to cook chicken, I'll just go ahead and get you off the video. It's real easy. You just put a cooking surface. I prefer a grill. It's just as stable as an oven. But if you do it in an oven, it's not going to taste like a grill. 450 for 28 minutes. I do 15 minutes on the first side. I flip it, 13 minutes on the other side. If you're going to do it in the oven, I'd suggest you put it in a pan sheet with a cooling rack in it. That'll lift the chicken out of the juices so it's not sitting and boiling in its own liquid. It'll drip off and the seasoning will stick to the chicken. And that's why I like to grill, because the juices fall out of the chicken and the fats and it leaves the seasoning on. So 450 for 28 minutes. There you go. You can end the video. I highly recommend a grill over everything, but you can really do anything. You can do low for 6 hours in a slow cooker. You can pan fry in a medium heat pan in the kitchen. That works too. You can air fry it. I don't know what the air fryers come with preset temperatures. I have an issue with air fryers and pans because you can only cook one meal at a time. And if you're trying to meal prep for the week, you're going to be in the kitchen for a while and the house is going to smell and there's a lot to clean up. Ovens, pretty fast. You can cook a lot of chicken depending on how big your oven is. The only real issue with the oven is what's the issue with the oven? Let's think about this for it. That's what it was. Cleanup. You got to clean the pans. Now, you also have to clean a grill. You're about to watch me clean the grill. But this is a lot easier. It's lower maintenance cleaning than cleaning an oven would be. So we're just going to pull out the grill grates. There's some meat bits on it from the last time I cooked. I'm going to let those get really hot and burn a little bit, and then I'll scrub it with a sponge-soaked water that's made for high heat. But right now what I'm doing is I'm taking the ash out of the fire pot. This is a pellet smoker, so it uses an electric igniter to burn the wood pellets. And if you let that ash build up, it's going to give your smoker some issues as you use it long term. So about every week, I might cook in this once or twice a week. I take that out real quick and I just use my hand and I scoop out the ash. And I find if I just hand load some pellets in here, the pot's already loaded with the pellets, so it fires up a little faster than it would if I let the electric auger slowly push pellets in at whatever rate it prefers. So we're just going to clean that out a little bit, get the dirt away from the igniter, make sure it's just nice and clean. I do just need to get a vacuum and just suck the dust out, but for now, this works just fine. Just clearing out the ash. The ash does insulate a little bit of this, but I mean, this isn't a traditional smoker, so I don't really need to worry about that. So we got that. I'm going to open up my new bag of pellets. And I'm just going to take a small handful of pellets and put it in a little fire pot. There we go. So we're going to fire this up to 450. We're going to eat a quick meal. I haven't eaten in about 4 hours. And you guys are going to watch me season up 30 pounds of chicken and watch how I get it done in 2 hours. So most people eat about 10 to 12 pounds of chicken a week. So this is twice the amount you need to cook. So you could honestly get it done in 1 hour. But I'm going to put this grill back together real quick. Man, I really need to like power wash this thing. The meat bits that are like carbonizing onto this are kind of disgusting, but also amazing. All right. Also know this microphone picks up some noise, ambient noise. So I'm trying not to like let things just go crashing, because then the microphone picks it up and it's like, All right. What I really like about this style of smoker that I got, this pit grill, it has a little grate that I can slide back and forth that exposes the fire pot's flame. And I can sear steaks over an open flame and get a really nice finish. So this week, we're doing the same carb cycling as last week, but the difference is we're going to bring our carbs down and increase our protein and fats a little bit. We'll see if it changes my muscle and water retention, my muscle clarity. We're basically going to replace my moderate carb days and my low carb days dinner that was French toast with chuck roast instead. So I'm going to get an equal, I'm not going to change my calories from this week to last week, but I'm going to change my macronutrient profile, and we'll see what that does. So I opened the fire shield just so I can monitor the flame to make sure it started. But we're going to let this fire up. We're going to let it burn off the smoke. And once it's got no white smoke coming out, meaning that it's got an open, happy flame, then we'll close up the grill and heat it up to 450. So I'm going to catch up on my meal, and then I'll let you guys see how I season the chicken. I'll clean the grill, and then we'll get it rolling. All right, so you guys see the setup here. I'm gonna get the chicken out of the fridge and get it all laid out. But we got a lot of chicken to cook. So we're gonna use these big bins to season it a little faster. And I'll just stop and start the video, I guess, where I think it's necessary. But yeah, I spoke incorrectly. I think most people eat about 9 pounds in a week. So what I'm cooking here is almost 4 times what you would need. So really you can get this all done in, yeah, just under an hour. And that's counting cleanup. And the longest part is just letting the chicken cook. And then I prefer to let the chicken cool at room temp while I maybe clean stuff. And it lets the chicken's meat relax and lose the juice that it has. So we're gonna get all of these out of their packages. And the reason why I cut it into this bin is so that I can basically get the extra juice off the chicken. If I immediately just season it after dumping it out of these bags and don't move it into a new container or something, then the issue is the juices just pull all the extra seasoning off, and it was basically just a waste of money. So we're gonna wear our apron to make sure we don't just splatter our nice clothes in juice. Oh, good catch. Got it again, jeez. Bad day. I'm sure that was loud. We're gonna keep cutting all this chicken off, and then, yeah, so this week I think this diet should work pretty good. I think not having those extra carbs, I'll look a little flatter in the mornings. And we'll just monitor how much water weight I'm retaining by the end of the day. And we'll see how my workouts feel. If I feel like just not as full, then I'll increase the carbs again, and I'll bring the proteins and fats down. I have a tendency to eat protein obsessively, and I think that's okay, but up to a point, it can be a detriment to your performance because protein isn't gas for your tank, right? For your muscles. It's a healing thing. But also, you know, if you're in prep, if you're dieting hard, you're trying to cut, your body needs the materials to help with the healing. And I feel like providing an excess of those, materials can also help with the process. So really, it's all theory. No one really knows any distinct answer. We all just kind of just go based on what we think and what we feel. And even the science still gives you like weird answers. So up until a point, just do whatever you want. Just make sure your performance isn't, going down. You feel good for someone who should be on a diet at least. You're never going to feel amazing. And then what else? Yeah, you're not getting like too much weaker, but that all falls under performance. So there's a lot of intricacies. I watched a video this morning on people's opinion of carb cycling, and like, really, we all do perform a form of carb cycling where there's days where we may increase our intake and days we may decrease. No one eats the same thing every single day unless they have, I don't know, some intent to actually do that. I think we all tend to eat a little less or more on certain days. I think a lot of us tend to, nowadays at least, with the mindset that's out there, consume carbohydrates while we work out to sustain training performance. And if you don't train 7 days a week, there's at least 1 day a week where you're not eating all those carbs, and you're unintentionally, cycling your carbs down. So my mindset behind carb cycling is to maintain muscle fullness and size so that I still look big. And then I can maintain performance because, like I said, it's gas for the tank. And honestly, like next week, before today's over, I might decide instead to not do the chuck roast for dinner. I might just do it on certain days. Like maybe on my moderate carb days, I actually skip the French toast dinner. And the reason I would skip that is because I probably already had carbs post-workout. So I have refed the muscle with carb. And then beyond that point, after my moderate carb days, I don't hit another workout. I don't need carbs in my muscles stored for the next day. So, Mondays are my training days, and I try to get 3 meals in before I train. Those are my high carb days. Sunday's a low carb day. Tuesday's moderate. So whatever carbs are like left over in my blood, that's what I think of as like my stored muscle glycogen. So Monday and Tuesday, I feel good. Wednesday, I hit a low carb day. So Thursday, it's imperative I get my carbs in. So that way I'm fueled up for that workout that day. And I just kind of layer and stack the days. Sundays, I'm not super active. Like this is as much as I do is I just get up early. I season some chicken. I eat some food, and I'm just kind of chilling all day. So I don't need a ton of carbs. I'm not really burning them off. I'm not high intensity today in any way. So whatever carbs I ate yesterday, they're just going to chill in my bloodstream and go nowhere. So I'm going to think about it a little bit more while I'm cooking. And once I've thought about it some and I come to a clear decision, I will tell you guys what I end up doing for my diet. But for now, just kind of talking out of my ass, I'm trying to decide what day I want to add that chuck roast in because I cooked it. It tastes great and I don't want to waste it. So I got to figure out a way to make it work logically without it changing my diet too much. Okay, so this is how we're going to season the rest of them. So I'll just stop the video after this. But we're going to use your all-purpose seasoning like a steak rub or something. In this case, it's a steak rub. I got some feedback. I think I used a little too much pepper last week. So I'm going to use a little less pepper by not using, I use like usually an all-purpose seasoning like I'm doing now. And then I'll add pepper on top of it. Today I will not add extra pepper. I also got this no salt seasoning from Costco, and it adds herbs that I already put in my normal food. So I feel like it's just going to stack flavor. It's things like dried carrot, parsley, thyme, oregano. So it just smells really good. And it's going to add like a natural sweetness. I feel like a lot of seasonings intentionally put sugar in them to enhance their flavor. You'll usually see it in the description of the ingredients. They will tell you that there's no calories because the serving size is less than 1 gram. But we use way more than just 1 gram of seasoning on a piece of meat. So you end up actually putting calories on your food without realizing it. So in this case, I would at least rather that my calories are coming from a natural source, from like a carrot that has more flavors than just sweetness. I'm okay with there being calories in the seasoning. I just want the calories to come from like flavor, more depth of flavor. Because chicken is like a really blank canvas to work with, and that's why it's so good. But if you don't put effort into it, chicken can be very boring and almost like a torture test. And your diet shouldn't be torture, right? It should be hard. It should be struggle. It should be tough. That's a diet, but it shouldn't be like, oh man, this really fucking blows. So in order to keep one piece of chicken from pulling flavor off another, I'm going to lay 2 sheets of tin foil to lay over this. And that's how I'm going to stack my chicken. So I'm just going to get these seasoned up, and I'll just catch up with you guys when I have a bin full of stacked chicken. All right, so we got all the chicken seasoned up. We got the layers of tin foil to keep them from stealing seasoning off of each other. And chicken looks beautifully seasoned. The seasoning smelled fantastic. And then rather than using tongs, I'm just going to use gloves and place the chicken on here. I'm going to try to get as much chicken on as I can. Usually I can fit about 16 pounds. So I should be able to get this done in 2 batches if I stack it correctly. So that's the challenge for the day. And 3, 2, 1, go. We're going to put the thicker, bigger pieces generally where we're seeing more heat come from. So that's about right in the middle where that little shield is that lets you get more flame on the meat if you move it open. I'm going to have to use tongs on the second pass through in order to adjust the meats because they'll be blazing hot and I'll probably burn myself. But as I'm placing this cold chicken on, it'll be all right. I don't want anything overlapping, but I'll get it damn close because what's going to happen is the chicken's going to pull away from shrinkage. So it's not going to touch each other the whole time, but for these first couple minutes, they'll be friends. That's a big boy. That was a big boy. My favorite part is the little pieces of chicken skin that get stuck to the grills. I'll eat it while I'm cleaning it up. A little like, you know, grill master's treat, you know what I mean? Okay. So, you know, I can just slowly peel back the layers of tinfoil as I'm working. And if it were a summer day where it's humid and there's lots of bugs, keep the bugs off the food. So I'm starting to stack these a little like diagonal just to get as much as I can on this grill. I think I got room for one more small one if I got it. That looks small. That was a bit of a reach, that one. That's okay. We'll double park you somehow. All right. Grill's going in, 15 minutes, then 13 minutes. But before we put that second batch on, we do have to let the grill heat back up. We're gonna have really inconsistent cooks. The first one will be perfect and the second one will be undercooked. So, on our way. All right, first 15 minutes is down. Gonna flip the chicken and then 13 more minutes. Here we go. Chicken's looking great. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip all the pieces first, leave them where they are. And the pieces that are showing any charring, we'll switch them with pieces in areas that aren't as charred or as cooked. And this is also a great way to show representation of where all our hot spots are. So it's kind of surprising where you end up seeing those hot spots are at. So this right here is the hottest spot right in the middle, of course, but a little bit towards the front as well. Right, you're seeing this one got hit pretty good and it's far away from the heater. And then this side looks like the chicken's just getting hit with more smoke because it's right near the exhaust. So we're gonna move these out. So what I do is I stack them on top of the pieces that they're gonna replace. I have watched myself on video literally just like move the same piece of chicken 3 times. So we're trying to avoid that. This piece, you can get switcherooed with that one. This can go here. That looks like a good spot. So, you know, you're just trying to be intuitive and just decide, like, this looks like a good spot for that, that looks like a good spot for this. And just do your best to reorganize the grill so that the right things cook at the right time and they all finish at the same time. Everything looks good. Got the hottest pieces away from the hottest spots. 13 more minutes. We're gonna do that one more time with the other batch. You guys won't see that. You'll just see it when it's all complete. So here we have it. 30 pounds of chicken all cooked up. Only took 2 hours. So now we're just gonna pack it up for myself and some friends I was cooking for. And we are set for the week. There we go.